Hi, this is the next in my series of films about assumptions that I made about a year ago that we've subsequently found out were wrong. And this one is around colleagues, wellbeing workers, being able to cover their own shifts. So that's what we started with. And we found out within the first month that actually that was just too hard and wasn't going to work. So we asked team members what we could try next. And the next thing that we tried was that your buddy would support you. So if you were unable to make it on shift, you would contact your buddy and your buddy would help you or on your behalf see how we could cover it. Because of course in home care, a 15 minutes being too late to get to somebody's visit or missing a medication visit is absolutely awful, awful, awful. So it has a different sense of urgency than lots of other services. And I know that our colleagues in local Cornerstone are able to cover shifts with people doing it themselves, and they're supporting people with learning disabilities, but the cut and thrust of home care seems to make that much more difficult for us to be able to do. So we tried it doing with buddies, and that didn't work either, because one of the challenges is if your buddy's not on shift that day, it doesn't feel okay to be contacting them on their day off to help out covering a shift. So then we had our 3-month person-centred team review, and this came up again as something that wasn't working. So we asked the team for their suggestions about what they'd like to try next. And they came up with a different solution, which was every day you'd have 2 colleagues who, as well as being on shift, would be able to support somebody who wasn't able to make it into work to help cover a shift. And we tried that for a month, but again, it just didn't feel quite right. And the feedback that we were getting on Peakon, which is our satisfaction and well-being questionnaires, said this was still something that we need to come out with more solutions. So the next thing that we're trying is actually the scheduler having more time on their role, and for their role being to support somebody to cover the shifts as well, because of course they've got oversight of the schedule. So it's still absolutely not what a traditional coordinator would be doing in traditional home care, but we're testing out again, is this another way that we can make sure we're delivering a safe, person-centred and compassionate service, and focusing on the well-being of team members as well, and making sure we're being as efficient as possible in how we cover any instances where colleagues can't get into work. So, of course, I desperately wanted what Buurtzorg was doing to be the solution for us, but that's not been the case, and we're continuing to test other options, and this is the one we're working on now.